Mad Max. Become Mad Max, a lonely warrior in a wild post-apocalyptic world where the key to survival, the car. In this world full of dangers, the action takes place from a third party. To survive in the wasteland, you must fight, taking part in melee battles against the car and bandit gangs. Max, indomitable hero and desperate fighter, the only thing he wants, to leave the madness behind and find solace in the legendary Silent Plain. Players will go through many treacherous missions, deeper and deeper into exploring the vast expanses of wasteland in search of stocks and materials for the construction of fault-free and perfect fighting machine, LEGO Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Action-adventure, created based on the cult of the 7th episode of the saga Star Wars. The project is not only a video game adaptation awakening forces but also serves as a small bridge between the events of the tape and Return of the Jedi. You will have a unique opportunity to re-experience familiar episodes featuring favorite characters: Han Solo, Chewbacca, Dameron, Rey, and Finn. Only now, locations and characters will be in the form of LEGO blocks. And, of course, is not without a corporate humor inherent in all games of this series. LEGO Star Wars: The Force Awakens boasts several innovations in the gameplay. Among them appear multi-blocks and the use of blasters, along with the system of shelters a la Gears of War, Stellaris. Global strategy galactic scale go to the universe full of wonders and devote himself to the study of infinite space. The company Paradox Development Studio, which created the famous series of Crusader Kings and Europa Universalis, is a new word in the genre of global strategies. Stellaris is a thoughtful strategic gameplay, an impressive variety of alien races and truly fascinating story. This is an exciting pastime for the study of cosmic spaces where you have to travel, meet the inhabitants of distant worlds, to interact with them and constantly learning something new. Enter your name in the history of space exploration, and create your own galactic empire. Colonize distant worlds and assimilate their inhabitants. To conquer star systems by force or try to achieve the desired diplomatic means? You choose Deus Ex Mankind Divided. This multi-platform action, role-playing game with a first-person by Eidos Montreal studio. The yard is 2029. People with mechanical implants considered outcasts and are forced to eke out a miserable existence, being completely isolated from the rest of society. Now special agents and mother of Adam Jensen, working undercover, have to deal with the world despises his ilk. With over a set of the most advanced weapons and implants, character will choose the right path and trust in the right people. And all in order to expose a global conspiracy, Far Cry 4. This first-person shooter with open world, developed by Ubisoft Montreal. In the fourth part of the popular franchise, players will go to Kairat, a fictional region of the Himalayas, caved in under the tyranny of a self-proclaimed king. You will find a fascinating adventure in the exotic island, as well as a large selection of weapons, vehicles, and, of course, an abundance of all kinds of animals. Conduct reconnaissance of enemy territory with altitude on gyroplane and work out amphibious landing, using a wingsuit. Ride an elephant and 6-ton combat brushed enemies his destructive power. Choose from a vast arsenal of weapons, no matter how crazy and unpredictable nor would the impending job of work, certainly there is a suitable barrel for it. Assassin's Creed, Unity. This next addition to the cult series, which is based on a completely new engine, Anvil, developed specifically for the new generation of systems. You will witness events such as the storming of the Bastille and the execution of King Louis XVI, and help French people find a new destiny. Paris, 1789. The French Revolution plunged the once prosperous city into chaos and fear. In the streets the blood of the common people, who dared to prevent the tyranny of the aristocrats. And while the nation continues to destroy itself as itself, the young man by the name of Arno decides to brave the adventure, which aims to find out what force is actually behind the revolution. The journey will lead him to the center of a ruthless battle for the fate of the nation, and will make him a real master assassin. Call of Duty: Infinite Warfare. 13th game in the main line of shooters. Call of Duty. Players will visit again in the future, and quite austere. Earth resources have been completely exhausted, so people no more nothing left but to explore the cosmos in search of planets to colonize. Godia manages the process of the United Nations alliance, which, however, have to face the onslaught of the radical group. The intention to tidy up resources to their hands. Since the events of Infinite Warfare takes place directly in space, the air battles in the new Call of Duty will be a permanent feature of the gameplay, as well as land. In addition, the story campaign will include not only the mandatory missions and support. Last help better understand the plot and, of course, giving you all sorts of bonuses in the event of a successful conclusion. Dark Souls 3. This multi-platform game in the genre of action, role-playing game with a third-person developed by From Software Studio. The fourth addition to the Souls series became famous thanks to its hardcore difficulty. Conceptually, the project is very similar to its predecessor. Armed with a wide arsenal of knives, the player will have single-handedly cut the hordes of demons. As a subsidiary of weapons can be used a bomb or, for example, the magic. With regard to protection from enemy attacks, you can either avoid them by a sudden maneuvers, and to resort to using special accounts. The emphasis in Dark Souls 3 will shift to the role-playing elements. In particular, the development of a character in one direction or another will have a direct impact on his fighting style and skills. The number of locations in the game, though reduced in comparison with the second part, but significantly increase their size. Fallout 4. This action, role-playing game developed by Bethesda Game Studios for PC, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Many years of war for resources has received the tragic culmination in 2077, when the course was put nuclear weapons. Since then, it took 200 years. In the role of one of the descendants of Vault 111, you will find their place in this lifeless world, which has become a pale semblance of the once smelling and flowering of civilization. As expected from most role-playing games, the protagonist in Fallout 4 you create yourself by selecting the floor, giving the desired appearance and so on. Present here and the traditional genre character development system, as it passes, you will gradually improve the skills of your character and open access to new abilities. The game world in Fallout 4 is huge and is fully accessible for research. In addition to topical tasks, you can also engage in a number of side, such as the creation of weapons, construction, search for resources and protection of the population from looters and mutated humans. The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt. This new generation of role-playing game that takes place in an open and stunningly beautiful fantasy world full of complex solutions and large-scale effects. In The Witcher you play the role of Geralt of Rivia, a member of a dying cast of hunters on monsters. You have to go on an epic adventure in a world devastated by war and face the enemy, worse than that humanity still did not know, Wild Hunt. Develop unique skills which so as to create the gaming experience that most came up to you. Hunt the bloodthirsty monsters and develop their own unique strategies of warfare. Use powerful spells and bring your hero to victory in this limitless world completely. Walk, swim, ride horseback or bisecting the sea on the vessel. Perform the job and get the legendary epic wealth. Take control of everything, go wherever you want and do what you see fit.